From Chicago streets to the courts beat, Sal, Scott, Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops, we're the Bulls troop. From game analysis to fan scoop.
Ooh, what's good, Bulls fans and Horniacs, and welcome back to another edition to the Horns Over Hoops podcast. We are your hosts for the evening, Sal-Bass, Dan Gracey, and joining us from his hiatus of traveling the world and coming down with a nasty sickness, Scott Berman. Welcome back, Scott Berman. How you doing?
Pretty good. Oh, I don't know about that.
That dog
Even-
is. That dog
Even
is.
your dog is
disturbed.
happy to see you. Scott Berman, you've been gone a while. What have you been doing? You've been world traveling?
Yeah, I took a 2-week trip to the UK. We started in Scotland. Kind of went a loop around the country, went to Northern Ireland for a couple of days, and then drove down the coast of Ireland, and then ended up in Dublin. But it was a cool trip. 2 weeks is a lot. It's quite expensive.
Is it?
But-
Like, the country itself was expensive?
Well,
Or not the country.
No,
but-
just
Or just traveling in general.
travel. Just think about it. You're going basically out to eat 2 to 3 times a day for 2 weeks.
yeah,
It's going to be
true.
expensive.
Yeah.
Plus
Well,
whatever things you want to buy or things like that.
What was like
What's
the best
the-
meal you've had?
The best meal I had was we went to this expensive ass restaurant in Edinburgh, which I'm pissed about because the couple we went with, I asked, "Hey, do I need to bring any nice clothes?" And they were told me, "No." We go to this expensive ass restaurant. I walk in there with a hat and a t-shirt. Everybody's wearing like a button-down shirt, like dress pants, like dresses and things like that. And I'm wearing this. And I'm like, I am so out of place. You told me I didn't need to wear a nice shirt. They're like, well, we thought you were going to wear a tuxedo. And it's like, why the fuck would I wear a tuxedo?
Like you're just
Why would I bring a
randomly-
tuxedo? Why would I bring a
Yeah.
tuxedo?
Who
You
wears a
don't bring
tuxedo, to a restaurant?
everywhere you go.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
I
Dan.
Sorry, I
Wear a
just bring
tuxedo to a restaurant?
No,
I
he's
bring a
never done that.
tuxedo to every event I go to, just
Oh.
in case.
Just in case. But what other what was the coolest thing you saw while you were out there?
Scotland in general is such an awesome country. Scotland is actually a continuation, like the Highlands is a continuation of the Appalachian Mountains. So the whole Highlands is just mountains, but it's all green and there's just like waterfalls coming down. So very beautiful country. Edinburgh is such a cool city. We only got to see a little bit of it because we were only there for a day and a half. But learning the history of Edinburgh is really cool. We went to this really cool haunted bar. It's kind of like a rock metal bar that it's like built into like these vaults that they have that are kind of it's connected to like a bridge that they built.
Mm-hmm.
So Edinburgh is kind of weird. It's like 2 different levels. They built a bridge. They like filled in the arches of the bridge and they're like built on top and underneath. So the bridge or the vaults that they like kind of filled in, but they kept open. At one point it turned into like, that's where like the shady underground of the city was.
Slim
So
Shady?
the poor people or like crime and stuff kind of happen there. So there's a lot of like ghosts and stuff that haunts that area.
spooky
But
stuff.
yeah, so this bar, they were renovating it and were taking down a fireplace and a pair of child's shoes fell out and it had
What?
a kid's name it. Yeah, it had a kid's name in it. And they looked up the kid. They disappeared when they were like 8 or something.
I think you found
So
them.
yeah, well, they
Did you call
People have
Ghostbusters at all?
I haven't, but people have said that they like hear kid running around the bar like laughing, and then they'll randomly see him. But
That's eerie.
yeah, but the bar is cool. It's got like a downstairs they play live. They have live bands. If you go to the normal bar, they have Trooper on tap, which I've never seen it on tap. It's such a great beer, the Iron Maiden beer.
Oh, Trooper.
Yeah.
And then they have a movie theater which they play bad 80s and 70s horror movies all day.
nice.
So it's great.
Nice.
But yeah, Edinburgh's such a cool city. Yeah, I love Scotland. Alex
Yeah.
wants to move there now.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Real quick, you guys believe in ghosts and haunting and stuff like that?
Oh hell
I
yeah.
think
Yes, I believe in ghosts.
Oh, you really do? Okay.
Yeah,
I have this
I don't
theory.
remember-
Like, I don't
Cherry
believe
Valley
in
I
it.
don't fuck with anymore.
Oh yeah,
Cherry Valley is a very, very spooky place.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that I don't believe it, but I don't want to be proven wrong, if that makes any sense at all. Like, I have the mindset that it's not real, but I don't want to be proven. Like, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night, fucking ghost hanging by my bed. We're real. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Yeah.
operate under the assumption that it's not real until otherwise proven. But Scott Berman, that high of traveling to the UK was short-lived. Actually, shout out C-Red UK. Because immediately when you got back, you came down with a sickness. And what did you have?
Oh, I have no idea. I had some sort of infection or something that was making me cough, and I couldn't really talk. I had to go.
It was the Irish
Get on.
fever.
I don't know what it was, but I was on some antibiotics for a couple of days, and then it cleared up.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. That was Scott Berman's journey, everybody. All right, fellas, we got a great show for everybody today. And you know why that is? We have little to no Bulls news. They did just conclude their summer league stint. And now with the Olympics being in full swing, there has been little to no movement. And talks for that matter.
So that's not entirely true. Like probably Thursday, maybe Thursday or Wednesday, some news came out about Zach LaVine. No, he's not traded.
No.
But what was said from a Bulls insider, so someone from like the Bulls staff, it was leaked out to ESPN. He said that about Zach LaVine, he's never won. He's done it his way the whole way and never won. So yeah, it just seems like more toxicity is coming from the Bulls front office. And this is like, how are you supposed to build up a guy's like confidence and try to trade him if you're just gonna talk shit to reporters about that player?
Yeah. I guess like I see what you're saying, because unfortunately as everybody knows, we haven't moved him yet, and we're now stuck in that limbo where his value is absolutely next to nothing, whether it be because we did that or he did that to himself. But it kind of sounds like we're in this phase of, well, hold on, with DeMar gone, maybe we can convince him to stay. We don't need to trade him. Maybe we can convince him that this is his team now.
It's going to be a rough season for the Bulls. Not just talent, but like internally as well. Because I guess Zach has been feeling singled out, and he feels like he's being, or the blame is too much on him for the Bulls' struggles.
Yeah.
Which I get, but at the same time, like, they paid you like an all-star. You've been an all-star. You're a two-time all-star. With that paycheck, you have to take the criticism that comes with it.
Yep.
So like, I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, like, dude, you're like pretty much the face of the franchise. Of course you're going to be criticized over anyone else in the roster.
Yep. Like, that's the difference, because like Look at how many times, Russell Westbrook was criticized and he was the face. Look at how many times James Harden has been, Kevin Durant,
Yeah.
all these major players who collected a big check at one point were under the knife of some sort of controversy or scrutiny. And you have two choices. You could either rise above it and push it aside and just ball out and pretend like you don't hear it, or you can succumb to it and let it get inside your head and ruin you. And it looks like Zach is kind of, teetering in between those two, but Scott, what do you make of that?
The continuation of the toxicity under Jerry Reinsdorf pisses me off, that this kind of thing is allowed to get out. There's too often that it just behind the scenes people are bad mouthing the players, the management, all that, and nothing seems to change. And it's just not just the Bulls. It's happening with the White Sox too. They were voted one of the worst teams to play with or from the players. And just recently during the trade deadline, one of their young stars that everybody thought was going to be traded came out and said he wanted an extension.
Was that Eloy?
No, that was Garrett Crochet. He wanted an extension.
Yeah.
And then Chris Getz, the GM, came out and started bad-mouthing him, saying, how dare he do this? It made him harder to be traded. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
The guy's looking out for his future. He wants an extension, and you're going to...
Goddamn dog.
Yeah, he's looking out for an extension, and you're going to badmouth him into the national media. Like,
yeah,
how is this allowed? And Jerry keeps allowing this shit in both of his organizations.
Well, that's the thing that I don't understand is you finally have a guy, which as everybody knows, the White Sox are not just bad, they're like abysmal. They're like Oakland Athletics last year moved the team to Las Vegas bad. So for a player to actually say, hey, I want to stay here, you should welcome that with open arms. You know what I mean? But rather, no, now I'm pissed off at him because he said he wanted to stay with his team. You should want a player to be invested in that team loyalty, not the other way around.
Yeah, usually it's a good thing if a player asks for an extension.
Yeah.
He likes it there.
Exactly. Because let me tell you something. I mean, not to get off topic, I went to a White Sox game not that long ago. As you guys know, I went to a White Sox game. We were at a restaurant. We were running late. I mean, I don't want to segue, but we were running late. And we were at that restaurant past when the game started. And we're like, okay, we paid for the meal, time to go. And it was like, all right, let's see how much of the game we missed. It was 10-0 at the end of the first inning. 10-0. Everybody's like, well, do you guys still want to go? I'm like, well, what else are we going to do? You know what I mean? We paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
I want to go see a game. And what's messed up is the seats were absolutely incredible. Like right down in the left field line. It was good seats. But anyway, that's how bad they are. It was 10-0. Now, granted, nobody scored again for the rest of the game, but still. And it was, I don't know if are the Mariners good, Scott?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay. Well, I mean, they were good that day.
The White Sox are going to set the record for the worst team in Major League history.
So, I mean, they're on course to lose like
20 in a row. They've lost like 20 in a row.
The MLB.
Mm-hmm. It's historically bad.
Yeah,
how bad they are.
When I went, I know it's worse now, but like when I went, it was like 28 wins and like 84 losses. It was insane. It was so bad. They lost an entire NBA season this year.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's to put it in perspective. The highest paid player in White Sox history is batting under 200.
Who is that?
He what's his name? He's their outfielder that they got. I can't remember. But again, it was $100 million is the highest paid contract in White Sox history, which is a joke. That's why Jerry is the worst owner in baseball.
And sports. And basketball. Yeah.
Just sports, I would say.
So time will tell. Actually, we're about to watch another Jerry travesty unfold because NBA season is right around the corner. The Bulls did release their preseason schedule October 8th. They tip off. I couldn't remember who it was, if it was the Cavs or what have you, but they have their 5-game preseason stint. So right around the corner. Guys, we got a good show today. As you know, the Olympics are in full swing, and I don't know about you guys or anybody listening, but I have Olympic fever. I can't get enough of it. I've never been so invested in the Olympic Games. So we got a Olympic themed show today. We have a few Ask a Horniak questions today. We have 4 of them, actually. All 4 very, very good questions. And gentlemen, it's the return of the game, not Triple H. Not Triple H, but we are returning the game because new bull season started. What's that?
It would be pretty cool if we had like Triple H on the show. I just want to throw that out there. It'll never happen. Never ever happen. But how sick would that be?
I mean, yeah.
Why would Triple H come on why would he come on a Bulls podcast?
Maybe he's a closeted Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't know.
We could try to trick The Rock.
Let's
trick The Rock to come on.
Yeah.
Pretend it's a podcast about him.
Yeah.
There you go.
He just gives the eyebrow when he finds out.
We're all huge Black Adam and Fast and Furious fans.
Just tell him
we'll tell him it's a Jumanji podcast, but it's the original Jumanji.
Yeah. It's a Tooth Fairy reunion show.
There you go.
Anyway, fellas, have you guys been partaking in the Olympics? I mean, obviously not participating.
Yeah, I just got back from Paris. I didn't get sick. What's wrong with you, Scott?
Dan, have you been watching the Olympics? Just the events, not the basketball, or both. What have you been watching?
The Olympics has been the only thing on my TV since it started. So how long has it been on? Like maybe a week?
Yeah, I think so. A little under a week.
I think it started last Friday.
Yeah, last Friday. So about a week now.
Yeah. So it's been the only thing on my TV. It's the only thing my wife has been watching.
What's been your favorite event so far?
So I really like the women's gymnastics. Simone Biles, she's the GOAT. Like, there's no denying that. Obviously, basketball. The 3-on-3 basketball as well. Like, that is pretty entertaining.
Jimmer is on that team.
Yeah, Team USA is not that great.
No, they're not.
But I still like watching just even other countries and everything. And then water polo. Water polo is crazy intense. Beach volleyball with Chase Bunninger.
Yeah.
What else have I been watching?
You haven't been watching handball?
Oh, handball. Handball. Handball's crazy.
The real question is, have you been indulging into some Olympic breakdancing?
I haven't seen it yet. I heard about it yesterday, and
it's the last 2 days.
It's not on yet?
Yeah, it's the last 2 days.
I watched trampoline the other day. It was
that started?
It wasn't very exciting. Like I was watching it, I was like, I can do this stuff when I was like 10. Probably not as high as they got, but like, it's just flips and spins.
Did any of them
on a trampoline?
Did anybody F5 somebody on a trampoline yet? Or?
No, I threw on judo the other day, thinking it was going to be like crazy intense judo fighting.
Yeah,
it wasn't. There's some stuff that
you think you're getting some Mortal Kombat and finish.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that. I don't know why I thought it was going to be some crazy fights, but instead, it was just like grapple, break, and then tripped out. I win. I was just like, oh, okay, so that's how they do judo. That's kind of lame, but all right.
Scott.
Oh, and real quick, the walk marathon.
The walk marathon.
That is crazy. It's 12 miles.
Somebody put into perspective with me. Like, I'm not trying to bag or dog on that Olympic sport, but why is it that everyone walking looks like they're making a mad dash to the bathroom?
Because
like everyone has that walk where it's like, I just ate Taco Bell and some is about to leak out.
It's crazy. I think maybe that's why I like watching it, because it's funny. So I'll just see all the people like,
Scott, what events have you watched? What's been your favorite? We'll talk about the
First-
basketball aspect in a minute.
First of all, Dan, you somehow did not mention skateboarding. I know you were all over that.
Oh, I was watching skateboarding and BMXing as well. Yes.
But my favorite sport, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the like the kayaking, canoeing where they're going down the rapids and have to go through the gates. That shit is crazy because there's one, I was watching one of them where you have to go backwards up the rapids for some of the gates, and there was one where they have to go completely across the track and turn around while they're crossing the track or like the rapids. It's absolutely insane how much upper body and back strength these guys have.
Yeah.
But that shit was insane. I've been watching a lot of that. Beach volleyball. Basically, it's just been on at work while I'm working on just like my second screen. I watched the shit out of women's 7-on-7 rugby.
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
that's crazy to watch too. I love rugby.
Yeah.
It's insane. Fencing. Have you been watching fencing?
I did watch a little bit of fencing.
Did you watch Snoop Dogg fence?
I didn't, but
Snoop Dogg is the highlight of the Olympics, by the way.
Speaking of, the celebrities at the Olympics that have just become such like fanboys of everybody, like Flava Flav has done so much for these Olympians. Like there was a tweet like from Olympian talking about how she can't pay rent and she has to go compete, and he's like, tell me how much you need, I will pay your rent. And I think he sent her like $8,000 just so she could like train and not have to worry about rent. There was some lady after the women's rugby team won bronze, like gave $4 million to the women's rugby team so they could like upgrade their practice facility and like stuff like that. It's a lot of these celebrities are like stepping up, which it amazes me that like it's so hard for some of these people to become like they have to work regular jobs and become Olympians at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
I'm glad you mentioned that because like we were watching the shot put, with that like Jake Krauser and they're huge. And I'm like, imagine competing in the Olympics and then going back to your like normal job at Home Depot and just bragging about like, I'm an Olympic gold medalist, but you still are like wearing an orange apron, working around.
But you're still getting paid minimum wage.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. So you must really, really love the Olympics. I was just mentally like in my head going through a conversation with like an Olympic gymnast with Flavor Flav. Like, I'm going to take care of all your rent. Seriously? Yeah, boy. And just like playing that through my head. Did you see Bobby Flay was there?
Yeah.
I don't know who that one chick who played I don't know what movie it was. It was called like Mom, where like she locked a bunch of kids in the basement. You know what I'm talking about?
House Arrest?
No. It was like a movie where like she was keeping her daughter captive upstairs, and then like she wanted to be the cool person and had a bunch of like kids in her basement. She'd let them drink and buy them alcohol.
What movie?
That's the only movie.
Fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm telling you the truth. It's called like Ma or Mother Ma. I don't, just look it up later. I don't want just whatever. Look it up. I'm telling you, look it up. You'll thank me later. It's a weird movie. I'm with you guys. I've liked the swimming. I've watched a lot of swimming.
Yeah.
Katie Ledecky is insane.
Yeah.
And women's gymnastics, I don't think Simone Biles truly gets the credit that like she's that good. Like she's hyped, but she is that good. Like the stuff that you have to do on that gymnast floor, and she can just do it. So she makes it look effortlessly. And one of them, she was injured, like her leg or her hamstring, and she still went out there and got the best score.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's absolutely insane. And she's only 4'8". Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a picture.
But you don't realize how small Simone is until you see her next to like regular people.
Yeah.
because I feel like I don't know for sure, but I feel like most gymnasts, female gymnasts at least, are short or petite.
Petite, yeah. I feel like you need to manipulate your body in that type of way.
To do all
But
that crazy. But
um,
yeah, it's also Simone's last Olympic. She's retiring after this one,
hey, go out on top.
which
But
makes sense. She's 27 years old.
wow,
Like in 4 years, she'll be what, like 30?
31.
Okay, math is hard for me. Why I'm doing this.
Real quick, did you guys see like the picture that was circulating on Twitter? How they put Simone Biles next to like Shaq and just the difference, and Simone like came up to Shaq like a head above Shaq's waist. Insanity.
Yeah, she's
They
like
don't.
at like Shaq's knees.
Yeah, and she's like built. She's like jacked too.
Yeah,
For she's
she's
all muscular.
ripped. Yeah.
So I watched that. I watched the shot put. A lot of swimming. I think I mentioned that, but that's really about it. I watched that horse. What the jockeying? We can. What is that?
Oh, I thought you were
horse
gonna
stuff.
say they played a game of horse in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be pretty
Oh,
cool.
and I did watch the shooting thing. With
That's the one thing I
Turkish
didn't
dude.
see. Put his hand
The
in his
Turkish
pocket.
guy.
Yeah, that guy
That's
is like
the one I didn't see. I need to see that.
overnight celebrity because like I don't know the gear, the equipment involved in Olympic shooting. You know, I'm sure everyone's got like their goggles, their knee pad, whatever the heck, and this guy's just in here in a t-shirt, hand in his pocket, like you know what I mean?
Just came out of the Walmart.
Yeah, overnight celebrity. So that's about it. I think we still got another week to go, Scott.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, but for me, I mainly watch the Olympics for USA basketball. As you know, the men's team just came out an absolutely horrific FIBA performance, and now they got their act together and they sent NBA's finest to Team USA to compete for that coveted gold medal. Which, real quick before I get into it, how cool is it that the Olympic medals have a piece of the Eiffel Tower in them?
Oh yeah, I thought that was cool.
I feel like that doesn't get enough recognition as well. Like you got a piece of the most historic landmark on the face of the earth on your medal. But anyway, Team USA had some scares, but they're competing for that gold. You guys, have you guys been liking what you've seen from them so far?
I mean,
Dan?
yeah, it's Team USA basketball. There's just dominance. It usually takes them. I've noticed it usually takes them around like the third quarter to really kick it into like gear.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by LeBron James. The fact that he is this dominant on a global stage at this age. How old's LeBron? He's like
38,
39.
39.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's almost 40. Like the man has like grays in his beard and everything, and he's just dunking on these kids.
Yeah. And he's making it look easy still.
Yeah, and they all make it look easy. Like it's crazy. Like because I was watching the Puerto Rico game yesterday, and it was close for probably till the second half, and then it's just crazy because you see the score and it's close, and you're like, "What the fuck's going on, Team USA?" And then you look back at the score, like
and they're
10
up by
minutes
20.
later, and yeah, they're just dominating. You're like, "Wait, what? How? When did this happen?"
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much an all-star game for them.
Yeah.
Where it's just like Steph just walking up into a three.
Yep.
Maybe draining it. He's been off rhythm. I'm a little disappointed in Jason Tatum. I feel like he hasn't been playing to the level he can.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's theirs to win.
Yeah.
And it's us against everyone else.
Right. Scott, what have you thought of Team USA this year?
I've watched about 5 minutes of Team USA basketball.
Oh, okay.
Mainly because I have no idea when the games are on. I've never actually tried to find them.
Yeah.
And if the game's already happened, I'm not going to rewatch it because there's other events on that I'm watching.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I really haven't watched any of it. But
They're playing right now.
That's the women's team.
Oh, is it the women's playing right now?
Yeah. I was just sorry. I was just looking at the schedule. I was looking at what was playing. The women are playing Germany right now. But yeah, I really haven't watched it. But this team, like Dan said, it's kind of, they're just there. They're just fucking around a bit.
Mhm.
I'm so glad that Embiid got benched because he needs to quit playing his bullshit James Harden game where, oh, I need to flop and get to the line. You are one of the most dominant centers in the league. You are a massive body. You can body all these guys, and you're just going to try to flop, and they're not going to call that in the Olympics or FIBA.
No. Right.
Yeah, it's FIBA rules. So
yeah.
It's FIBA rules.
But don't be surprised if Team USA struggles against Canada.
I was about to say.
I think that's the only team, maybe Germany as well. But those two teams, I think we're going to be fine against France. They got Nicolas Batum, Wemby, and Gobert.
It's a big front court, man.
Gobert is a bitch.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Dylan Brooks.
Yeah. He's Canada, not France, though.
No, I know. He could be French Canadian. You don't know.
Very well could be. Very good. Here's the thing, like, I know I'm going to catch a lot of hate from this from from somebody who listens to this podcast because he's an actual 76ers fan, but the Olympics is, like Scott said, it's exposing Joel Embiid for his weaknesses on a global level. The man his passing is off, his shooting is off. Now, it could be, I don't know if you guys know this, but every time the man touches the ball, he is absolutely booed out of the stadium from everyone in the stands. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Because before he made a commitment to Team USA, he had committed to Team France because he's French. So he made a commitment to Team France. Then the Team USA got absolutely blown out of the water in the FIBA, and they're all like, all right, let's put all our stars together. And Embiid left France and went to Team USA. Now, as you know, Paris is in France, and that's where the Olympics are. So putting 2 and 2 together, that's why they hate Embiid. So it could be they're getting in his head, but I feel like a player at the caliber of a Joel Embiid, he would know how to play through that criticism. But I mean, who knows? I'm with Scott. I think just for a technicality, they should just bench Embiid and start AD over him. But then you also run into the problem of, well, AD is rather injury prone. Do you start him and then risk him getting him hurt for the season? So, I mean, it's up in the air, but like you said, they're handling teams pretty okay. So I don't really see it being an issue.
I don't think Steve Kerr is going to be very upset if Anthony Davis is hurt for the season. So play the shit out of him. But again, you have Bam coming. You have Bam right behind him.
Yeah.
So Embiid, I'm not worried about. But can I go a little bit off topic?
Yeah, send it.
The South Sudan coach, Royal Ivy, needs to be getting some head coaching positions or interviews at least.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, he brought that team of, like you guys talked about it last time. You don't know anybody on that team, and they competed decently well at the Olympics.
Yeah. I actually know one person on that team, and I didn't know it.
Jones?
Carlik Jones is a South Sudan. Yeah. I did not know that.
Dude, that's one of the things I love about watching, like, Olympic basketball is seeing NBA players or even G League players on different countries and just being like, oh, I had no idea you were from this country.
Yeah, like, you're Lithuanian? Really? I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
I feel like that's every Olympic athlete though too. But I something stealing the show, and I hate to segue, but something stealing the show. Now, this really pissed me off just because of the fact that, as you know, I'm a fan of the 80s, 90s teams, and I paid I pay homage to the pioneers and the greats to walk the game before now. And Paul Pierce, I'm calling Paul Pierce out. If he even listens, I don't care.
Fuck Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce basically said that in an organized game, I'm paraphrasing, this Olympic basketball team would dominate the dream team. Scott sent us the video. I'm going to take a few seconds to cool off because I got pissed just repeating that, but Scott sent us the video and is basically going through, one by one, saying why this team now would be better than the dream team at that time. So basically he said like the dream team at their age and at their level was not as good as this team at their age and their level. So Dan, I'll let you give your 2 cents on that before I chime in.
Yeah, my 2 cents is that's some bullshit. Like that's just a lie. Because the dream team had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird,
John Stockton,
Karl Malone,
David Robinson,
Chris Mullen. It had like just
Larry Bird.
I'm not saying like this current team isn't also full of Hall of Famers, but like it has arguably the greatest player of all time in Michael
on
Jordan.
Both teams. Yep.
It has Scottie Pippen, who is an amazing defender. Like, I'm not trying to take away anything from Derek White. But no, I think if the dream team faced this version of the team, the current team of USA, I think the dream team would beat them 9 times out of 10. If you did like the dream team against like the redeem team, that you can make a case about.
That was a good argument. I did like when that was going on.
But like this current team against the dream team, I don't know about that.
No, yeah. Scott, you got like a sinister look on your face, like you're about to throw some random reason why this team would mop the floor with the dream team. Go ahead. What do you got?
I don't think they would mop the floor, but I think it's pretty even. You have the dream team. You have Larry Bird, his career's basically over. You have Magic Johnson, who just got his AIDS, HIV thing, so he hasn't played in a year. No one on that team can shoot threes other than Chris Mullins, so it's a completely different game. You have let's set the lineup right now, because Paul Pierce made some decent points, even though Paul Pierce is an idiot. But okay, you have Curry. Who's guarding Curry? Is that LeBron? Magic Johnson's going to guard Curry. You think Magic Johnson's going to be able to keep up with Steph Curry, who does not stop moving all game?
I would put
does not guard the
Michael,
three.
But here's
Michael on.
But here's
you have Michael on Curry. No. Let's keep going through it.
Good.
Okay, so you got Curry. Okay, who's guarding LeBron? You got probably Scottie Pippen, right?
Scott.
Right.
I think he does an okay job.
All right, who's guarding KD?
Probably Karl Malone.
Karl Malone. How is he? Karl Malone's not going to guard.
Not gonna.
No. I'm not saying he's going to do a good job. I'm saying who's going to guard. Well, no, didn't they play KD at 4?
Okay, that's Karl Malone still.
Yeah.
But also, KD's coming off the bench half the time. Okay, you got Jason Tatum coming off the bench. Is Chris Mullins going to be able to guard Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum hasn't been playing well, so
it doesn't matter. Neither has Curry, but yeah,
that's true.
He had some legit points. You got Ant coming off the bench. You have fucking Ant, who is a top 5 player coming off the bench. Like Clyde Drexler came off the bench for the Dream Team, which pretty good comparison right there.
Yeah.
I feel like Clyde would lock down Ant though. I mean, Ant is talented, but I think Clyde is a very underappreciated defender because he's got an enormous wingspan.
Yeah, the best player on the Dream Team was Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was the best player on the Dream Team.
Yeah, that's what
during the Olympics. But I think it's pretty even. But the biggest thing that he brought up is the 3-point shooting.
Mhm.
No one on the dream team could shoot threes other than Chris Mullins. And plus, who the fuck is going to guard KD? And the answer is no one. No one.
Karl Malone.
No one.
That's all.
No one's guarding KD. And you can't leave KD open. He's going to he missed his first 3 of the whole tournament yesterday.
Yeah, he was trying to go 100%.
Yeah.
Well, like here's the thing, and I don't want to get too deep into it. Like I don't know the complete depth chart or the roster of the dream team. Shame on me, but just looking at starting 5, taking bench out and just looking at starting 5, you have Embiid and David Robinson. There is no way Embiid is going to get the best of David Robinson.
But remember, this is David Robinson, 3rd year in the league. It's not prime David Robinson yet.
Right.
And you have prime Embiid. So that's the hard part.
Right. You have prime Embiid, but his play style is not it's reckless. Like Dan keeps saying, it's very reckless. So
it's like watching a car crash.
Yeah. He has size and I mean muscle mass on Embiid. He's got wingspan on him. I mean, Embiid relies on his little jump shot and his little finesse to the rim. And I don't think David Robinson, it doesn't take much energy to stand there and put a hand up and guard him. Going down, Karl Malone on KD. Yeah, you're right. That's a mismatch right there. That's where they'll have their advantage. I mean, Karl Malone,
by the way, Patrick Ewing started as the center.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Patrick. Well, even so, I mean, Patrick Ewing, even so. But you're also looking at it from the other way. Would KD be able to lock down a prime Karl Malone, who at the time, he was an elite scorer in the post. He can get to the rim.
Yeah,
he could do everything except hit the outside shot. So you're gaining offense there. Yes, I don't think he's going to be able to guard KD, but it's interchangeable. KD's not guarding Karl. Karl's not guarding KD. At the 3, you have Scotty or Larry. Scotty guarding LeBron. LeBron will get the best of Scotty, but it's not like LeBron's going to put up 30-something points on Scottie Pippen. Now you go to the 2, and who do you have? You have Jordan versus who starts at the 2 right now? Is it Steph or
no? Steph starts at 1
or Derek?
Derek comes off the bench.
Is it Devin?
Oh no, because they used. I think it is Curry.
Devin
yeah. I always forget Devin Booker's such a bitch. By the way,
Michael Jordan is locking down Devin Booker. He's not getting a shot off. Now I will get back to you at your Stephen Curry comparison. He moves around a lot, but a lot of Stephen Curry's shot relies on the inability to recognize the switch. He runs around, he waits for somebody to set a pick, goes around the pick and hits the shot. You know damn well he's not going to be able, even if 6'9" Magic Johnson has a hand up and he's stopping that shot, they're going to run a pick with the power forward that leaves either Karl Malone or Scottie Pippen to contest a Steph Curry shot. And I'm not going to say he's going to do it every time, but I have a feeling Steph Curry would have a huge problem trying to get a shot off against a outstretched Karl Malone or a Scottie Pippen. I'm not saying that Karl Malone has got the energy to guard him, but I mean, he's 6'10" with he'll lock him down. I mean, so it'll be close. I mean, but I do think that this Team USA team who struggled against a South Sudan team who won at the last second on a layup would have just, I don't know. It wouldn't have been comparable. I think Dream Team is the Dream Team for a reason.
To be fair, when it counted, they killed South Sudan.
Yeah. I know. And everyone was saying it was preliminary. It didn't count, yada, yada, yada. I get it, but you're still Team USA.
But you're missing the biggest thing is this USA team is playing at such a different competition compared to the Dream Team. There's like 60 NBA players currently in this, 60 or 70 NBA players that aren't on Team USA playing in this Olympics. There was like 3 that the Dream Team played. So it's completely, it's a little bit different. Also, the Dream Team, didn't they almost lose to like a bunch of college kids?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because they didn't know how to play with each other yet.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
still trying, because you gotta remember that the Dream Team was the very first time ever that like NBA players were on an Olympic team.
Yeah.
So they were
Well,
trying to figure it out, and they probably should have had Isaiah Thomas, but goddamn, fucking Michael Jordan.
Well, this is where I'll give flowers to the WNBA because they have it right, because their all-star game, as everybody knows, it's the Olympic team versus the actual all-stars, and that's actually very smart because it gives that Olympic team the ability to develop chemistry and to get to know each other's play style, and it really benefits you as you go on to the Olympics. You're playing against the WNBA's greats, but you're also working towards Olympic gold later on. So I would like it if the NBA adopted something like that. Not necessarily the Olympic team versus that, but basically your all-star team is your Olympic team. You know what I mean? Instead of voting for who the best player is, vote for the Olympics.
I don't know if they've done this in the past, but I'm pretty sure we've mentioned it. But do like Team USA for like the All-Star weekend. Do like Team USA versus World or something.
Yeah, something like they have enough world players. I mean, like Luka, Jokic, Embiid. Yeah. Scott said it many times. The top 5 players in this league are all foreigners. You know what I mean? I'd like anything to save the All-Star weekend, man. The All-Star weekend is a sinking rock, man. But moral of the story is, Paul Pierce, you're a clown. Keep doing clown things.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
The truth about
the truth
Paul
is
Pierce.
a lie.
The truth is you are a clown, Paul Pierce.
Truth is you shit yourself during a game.
We all saw it. It's documented.
Fellas, it's time for Ask a Horniak, and we've received several very, very good questions. We've gotten 4. That's several for me. So we're going to answer them here on the air. I wanted to pick one, but all 4 of them were so good that I'm like, let's just ask them all. First question is sent to us from Justin at the Bloody Horns podcast. Shout out, Justin. And real quick before we get started on this, shout out to all Bulls podcasting / content creators that have the ability to keep the momentum up through the off season, because it's been a dry season. It was an even drier off season. So just to have that integrity to keep it up, you guys are the real MVPs. And
it's rough in general for Bulls fans, content.
It's rough
out here.
I feel like
we on these streets.
I keep telling people that we would have a lot more of an audience and a lot more listeners if the Bulls were back in 2010, 2011. You know what I mean?
If they were relevant.
If they're relevant, yeah. Anyway, Justin asks, how many games do the Bulls need to win this year for Zach LaVine to redeem himself? I'm assuming that he's speaking on the Bulls decide to keep him and he's invested in our system and we have a good relationship. So, Dan, go ahead.
I don't think it comes down to wins and losses for Zach to redeem himself. It's him buying into the system, playing solid team basketball, playing like even decent defense. Like speaking of the Olympics, he played great defense when he was on the Team USA back in 2020. But since then he hasn't been good on defense. He's been too much ISO ball. It seems like he doesn't really trust his teammates. So for Zach to redeem himself, and if Zach wants to get off his team, then play good, winning style team basketball. Don't just ISO, pick, roll, just don't play your normal. Like, you've been playing your way since you've gotten in the league, and it hasn't, it's gotten you a max contract, but that's
about
much
it.
Scott, so like for him to redeem himself, just play good basketball.
Yeah. Scott, what do you got for it? How many games?
I don't think the games matter. Just like Dan said, it's pretty much exactly what Dan said. Like, buy into the system, kind of like DeRozan did.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to step into the veteran leadership role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. He needs to be the guy that stop trying to say, "Oh, I need to touch the ball every time."
Yep.
Let Kobe run the team. Let him be a floor general. Even if he's not let Giddy be the floor general. I don't know who's going to be the starting point guard, but that's what he needs to do. Is he needs to be able to get himself open, stop playing, "Hey, I'm just going to stand around when I don't have the ball."
Yep.
He needs to actually hustle back on defense. He needs to show, I know he doesn't want to be here, but if he doesn't, like, there was a stretch of like 9-10 games when he came back from injury where he like balled out and showed that he can be a team player. And that's what he needs to do.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. All three of us were in agreements. I'm going to answer this question as quickly as possible. I don't need to see games from Zach LaVine with DeMar DeRozan off this team and with Nikola Vucevic kind of declining. Well, I shouldn't say kind of, he is declining. You want to redeem yourself. You step up, you take the reins of this team and you emerge as the leader. I'm not talking about come in and score 25, 30 points a game and put up all-star caliber stats. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be that floor presence that everyone gravitates to. Be the face of the franchise. This is essentially, if the Bulls and Zach LaVine have a healthy relationship, this is his team now. You know what I mean? Because I still think a lot of the friction was it Zach's team? Was it DeMar's team? Was it Zach's team? Was it DeMar's team? But now with DeMar gone, you only have Zach. And I think this is a prime opportunity for the Bulls organization to be like, this could be your team. You know what I mean? Yes, you don't have the pieces that you need yet, but we can work with you on that. We can build a franchise, not necessarily around you, but to your liking. So
I think it's past that point with the front office and everything.
Oh yeah.
He's for sure going to be gone. It's just for what? Like, is it going to be for peanuts like we got like the AC trade?
Yep.
Or is it going to be like a haul that we should get where we get like, I don't know, like 2-3 picks and
talents
a
and
player?
picks.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you for your question. For those of you listening, go follow Bloody Horns podcast. He does have some great content and he posts rather frequently, which is a chore to do nowadays. So, and speaking of UK, Scott, this question was sent to us from Neil at the C-Red UK guys. And he asks, the general consensus seems to be the Bulls had a poor offseason. Do you think this is the case? And what would you have done differently to have made it a more successful? I'm assuming he's talking about we had a rather dry offseason with the exception of the Giddey trade and the Jalen Smith trade. So do you guys think it could have been any different? Like, how would you have seen it been different? Not Scott's dog.
You cut Javon Carter. That's how it was different. That really, like, it's not that bad of an off season. Hold on 1 second.
Dan?
I don't know if I should just. Yeah, he's fine.
All right,
he's back.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really think it was that bad of a off season. Like, Giddey was a great pickup for a guy that we wanted traded the last 2 years, and everybody's pissed about it. Sorry, Giddey was he was put in a spot in Oklahoma that was not comfortable for him, and it wasn't his role. So he's been playing really well at the Olympics. He's a really good facilitator. Like, we don't need him to be a scorer. I think, Jalen Smith, that was the center we got. That's a decent backup center.
Yeah.
Like, I think we could have maybe got a little bit more for DeRozan, but we'll see.
Yeah.
If it works out. We kind of got a guy that's like had a good rookie year. It's kind of, he's okay. He's had a bad couple years after that, but I don't think it was that bad of an off season. Like, no. I don't think any team made a really big splash.
No,
but yeah, like, Javon Carter getting cut would have been the move that I wanted.
Yeah. Dan?
Yeah, so I also keep seeing like the Bulls have like the worst offseason, and I'm just anytime I see it, I just like roll my eyes or like giggle a bit because I'm just like, what do you want us to do? Like, Giddy was a good pickup because the play style that Billy's going for, um, Giddy fits it. We are currently rebuilding, so of course we're gonna have a trash ass roster. We couldn't trade Zach. Okay, that sucks, but I mean, we'll get to that when we can, hopefully. Um, yeah, and like all these, like, okay, I saw a article the other day on like next year's free agents that the Bulls should target. It was from Pimpin' Ain't Easy. It was a terrible fucking article. It was unrealistic. They were saying that we should try to get Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, like all these like major
Yeah,
all-star players. I'm just like, in what world is this possible? We're a rebuilding roster. Um, it's
dude,
fucking stupid. It's
we're
fucking dumb.
we're the Eastern Conference Lakers. I'm telling you, every year they tell us we're going to get this big guy. We get all hyped up, and then we get nothing. You know what I mean?
I think I just think the Bulls did decent. I mean, for a rebuild.
Mhm.
I don't think obviously we're not going to win any games. So to say that the Bulls had a bad offseason, I'd be
Yeah,
like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
yeah,
Like it was an offseason. We tried our best.
yeah. I'm
So
kind of I'm in agreement with you three. Here's the thing, like I didn't really think it was a bad offseason. We traded Alex Caruso, which let's be honest, it was going to happen regardless. We got Josh Giddey. Okay. We traded DeRozan, which a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people are pissed off at that DeRozan trade, but people don't understand. He was an unrestricted free agent. He could have given us the finger and walked for whatever he wanted. We got two players and two second round, like the second round picks, whatever. But you got two players for him. I mean, you got to think again. He could have just left, and we got nothing. But at least we have two players that are relatively young, and we see what
right.
happens. You know, we roll the dice. Maybe one of them is worth it. The only other, Jalen Smith. I mean, I followed a lot of Indiana basketball. He's going to be a great asset to this team because he's a center that can actually shoot. Um, the only other aspect of the offseason that I would have loved to have seen a little bit more movement would have been the draft, but we got Buzelis, and
I think
honestly,
I think we got
what
a
more could we
steal.
have wanted? Like we
I
we
think.
have we finally have a direction to this team,
Mhm.
and I'm even admitting this because I wanted them to trade the house for Klingon, but after seeing what Buzelis did in the summer league, I'm invested in the Matas Buzelis now. I mean, I never disliked the guy. I just want that to be known, but I fell
Yeah,
victim to oh, we're going to do all
the
this on
hype.
draft day, and then we do nothing. So
Right,
I don't
right.
think it was a bad offseason at all. I think it was dry because there was not much available, but that's about it.
Well, also with the new CBA rules and everything, like front offices are like hyper focused on their cap, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So
Especially because it changes next year.
yeah.
So
So yeah,
thank you,
I
Neil.
feel it was a slow off season.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Neil. That was a great question. Go follow Neil you can follow him at Neil C Red UK on X or Twitter, whatever you're calling it. Our third question comes from what I'm assuming is Matt, his co-host of the show at Chicago Bulls Chat at CRed UK. Handle is at CRed UK on X. And he asks, which player from this youth movement are you most excited by, and which do you think is going to have the better season? So, of the youngest Bulls, or the young baby Bulls, whatever you want to call it, who are you most excited to see, Dan?
Bruce Ellis.
Okay.
I'm
Hey,
excited
you
to
said
see.
his name right.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Um, no, I'm excited to see his game come over to the NBA to see how he transitions. I'm not expecting like him to be like rookie of the year or anything. Like he could, maybe
Mhm.
he could. But I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see the growth of his player development throughout this season and going into next season and everything. So yeah, I would definitely say Bruce Ellis.
Okay. Scott?
Since I missed all of Summer League, I would agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris Duhon, who we got for
Chris Duarte.
Yeah, that's his name. Why I don't know why I said Duhon.
Chris Duhon.
I was like, Duhon's
Yeah.
on the team.
Yeah. He was a lottery pick, so he had a good rookie year. He struggled a bit and got traded around. So if he can bounce back, I would love to see that, and it would be a great asset to our team if he can do that. And I think being on such a young team as the Bulls, it might help him. And we have a really good shooting coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My pick, this is going to shock you guys, but I have a 1A and 1B. I'm most excited to see Buzelis, obviously, because he's a new guy, and honestly, I don't think he's going to play very much, unfortunately. But I'm excited to see Giddey's role, more or less. But overall, I'm excited to see Patrick Williams. And what I mean by that is the man has gotten paid. He's going to be stepping up into that role of, well, now you're not a role player. Now we kind of need you to be the man, one of the man. Can you contribute? Can you emerge as that player that we drafted you like? And I'm telling you guys, it's this year, and then I'm writing him off, because I think after this year, I think we said it before, Patrick Williams is who he is, and there's no changing it. So I want to see what he does with this team. So I'm most excited to see him, mainly because I think out of everyone we mentioned, he's going to get the most minutes. So he's got more of the chip on his shoulder. He's the one who's got more responsibility. So I'm excited to see what he can do with this opportunity and this bank that he just got handed to him. So thank you, C Red Bulls. We love those questions. Such good questions. Go follow them. They post amazing content. And they don't get enough credit as well, because they are in a different time zone, watching every single game and posting religiously and creating cool pictures. They're top notch, man. They're great guys. We've had them on here. 100%, and if you're listening, 100%. Let's do another collab, man. We miss you guys. So our last question, and the first part of this I absolutely hate the second part of this question, comes to us from Andrew Formica at Andrew_Formica on X. And he asks, do you think the Bulls need to clean house of all coaches, management, and ownership? And also, why wasn't Orlando's Pizza brought up in your conversation for best pizza? But anyway, Scott, Dan, what do you think of the first part of that question?
Do the Bulls need a clean house of the front office? I think
overall.
I don't. No, I'm going to say no.
No.
Just because, I don't think Billy's a terrible coach. I think he could be better.
Yeah.
But
it could be worse.
I don't think, I don't think he's terrible. I think we got Billy when the whole, Zach D. Ball roster came in to play, right? And I think that you just need to find the right pieces to fit Billy's system. And so far we haven't, because we've had Zach and DeMar, who, like, on paper, that's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
2 ball dominant guards.
Right.
Why do this? And you're trying to create this free flowing offense. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So I think I don't think that we need a clean house. I would really appreciate it if Jerry just straight up sold the team and we just got rid of Jerry.
Yep.
But yeah, and then the second part of that question, why wasn't Orlando's mentioned? I mean, I've only had Orlando's a couple of times, and I kind of feel like it's a little overrated.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
I also want to change my answer. I know I said Rosati is very basic. I know, but whatever. It's still delicious pizza. But Foxhole in McHenry.
Oh, that's a good pie.
Great tavern style pizza.
That's a good pie. Scott, do we need to clean house, and why is Orlando's not the best pizza?
I think we are gonna fire Billy, because he's not the coach we need. There's not enough off the ball movement. It's too static of an offense. He struggled. He couldn't win when he had
Right.
Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, I don't think he's an NBA coach.
No.
Like, he's a great college coach, but I don't think he's an NBA coach. But we do need to fire him eventually. I don't think yet, because he's not a bad development coach.
No.
Ownership is the biggest problem. Jerry and Michael need to get the fuck out of Chicago. Both of them. I'm sick of them.
Yep.
Like, I really hope when Jerry dies, Michael sells the team. He won't, but he'll continue to ruin the team.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll finally understand that his dad was an idiot and doesn't know how to run a team, and he'll finally
he's
let someone else take over. I think that's the biggest issue, is there's too much toxicity from ownership that's fighting upper management and not letting them do what they actually want to do.
Yeah. And then the second part about Orlando's
pizzas, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just okay. Like, it's not the best. If you really, okay, since I missed this, and I've been thinking about this, I'm going to go on a rant about pizza.
All right.
But
good.
The best tavern style pizza, it was Galati's Pizza. Galati's Pizza doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
I haven't been to the one. I haven't been to the one in Liberty or Lake Villa, but the one
closed,
your uncle's place is still open, right?
No, it's closed.
No, it's
open. Is it? I thought.
Yeah,
they were closed.
yeah.
I'm
but
sorry.
your dad's place had the best pizza for tavern style.
And
Like, I brought it
Yes.
over to
Oh my
several
God.
people's places,
Oh my
or
God.
to houses, and they all
Yes.
loved it. But
Yes.
that has since closed. I have not been to the Lake Villa one.
Unfortunately,
The other
the Lake
one,
Villa one is good as well.
Bill's Pub North.
Oh, Bill's Pub. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Bill's Pub special with it, one of the best pizzas I've ever had. Sausage, mushroom, onion, green pepper. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it is.
Bill's Pub is amazing.
It's just downright like it's just there's no like it's just good. You know what I mean? It's like fundamental.
The ingredients are fresh. The crust is nice and crispy. It's thin.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it checks every list to be a Chicago tavern pizza.
Antioch Pizza, also really good pizza.
That's
They
really
are
good, too.
doing a great job. You're not a fan?
I mean, I like it, but I don't think it's like it's like with Orlando's. It's all the hype behind it,
Yeah.
and then you have it, and then you're just like, it's all right.
But
So
the best pizza that I've ever had. Well, one.
With a CPK.
No, fuck off. No, the best pizza is
CC's Beats Pizza Buffet.
Bona Cafe in Lincolnshire.
Yep.
The guy is from Italy, and they make a wood-fired pizza, and everything that they have there is amazing. It's exactly like the place you were talking about. It is an original Italian cafe. But also, I got a slice of margarita pizza from Italy in
Oh yeah.
when I was in
Chicago?
Toronto. No, I went to the one in Toronto.
Oh, in Toronto. Okay.
Oh my god, that pizza was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever have Sbarro's?
Oh yeah. I just had a Sbarro's the other day. I think it's because one of our fourth friend who, he's listening. Brian, our fourth friend.
Brian's not fucking listening. Brian's not fucking listening.
He is. He actually is. Don't let him fool you. He is. He's like, you're gonna get an authentic pizza slice. So he mentioned it enough. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a damn slice. Sbarro sucks. By the way, it's very bad. Very bad. But I did that to Hubert. Shout out Brian. I'm going to answer throwing it all back. My question is, I'm with you guys. I would like to just see the ownership change. I'm fine with this roster. I'm fine with it. I don't think that you can make it any better with what assets you have. I mean, coaching wise, who else out there? If there's anybody out there who can tell me a better available coach than Billy Donovan, you're the new GM, because I think with what they have, with who they have, it's fine. Eventually he'll get fired when a better candidate arises.
Right.
But that ownership is absolutely awful. I've never seen another sports owner negatively impact a team so much as I have with Michael and Jerry Reinsdorf. I think that the only reason why we have 6 championships is because of Michael Jordan, not the Reinsdorfs. Michael Jordan was an anomaly. He just so happened to be drafted to the Bulls, and that's why we were so good. And we were on pace to do that again with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, if we would have won, it would have been no thanks to the ownership. It would have been purely because of the talent that we drafted. And when you draft talent, eventually other talent gravitates towards that talent. You know what I mean? Cue your LeBrons, cue your Michaels, cue your Derrick Roses, cue your Lucas, whatever. People are going to want to go there. D Wade, yeah. Ownership, absolutely nothing. Garbage. So, and why isn't Orlando's mentioned as the best pizza? Because Orlando's, I'm going to say this now, and I don't want to say it too much because I feel like mentioning their name too much. I'm going to give them that like Slim Shady effect, where like even if you cut them down, they're still going to get famous because Slim Shady said it. But Orlando's overrated as hell, man. Anybody outside of Lake County does not know what Orlando's is. So I'm telling you, fucking damn it, Orlando's, man. Orlando's overrated. Fellas,
anytime I see anytime I see the name Orlando's, I have to like do the Orlando.
Yeah, and like, is it? I know it's not Orlando's, it's Orlando's, but it pisses me off that there's no R in between the O and that. Just call it Orlando's. Jeez, dude, that one hits a little close to home. Sorry.
Yeah, you got a little heated there.
I did. I'm sweating. But fellas, to cap this Olympic style show off and to kind of lower my blood pressure a little bit, I have composed for you two an Olympic style game. So I'm going to ask you 7 random questions about the Olympics. Everyone knows the format. I ask one, the other one has a chance to steal, and whoever answers the most Olympic-based questions is crowned the victor. Do you guys remember who won the last game? Who was the?
I think Scott was on a streak.
Yeah.
Right.
New season. Let's start the new season over.
Scott, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right. Oh, geez, this is good. You're gonna mop the floor with it then. Okay.
Probably is.
Now, again, they don't know these questions. I wrote them 100% myself, and we'll see. All right, Scott Berman. Question 1: how many rings does the Olympic logo have? Is it A, 6, B, 8, C, 5, or D, 4?
5.
That is correct. 1 point to Scott Berman. Yay. All right. Turning the attention to Dan Gracey.
Oh, no.
Who has the most gold medals of all time as an individual participant? Is it A, Larsa Latina, B, Simone Biles, C, Katie Ledecky, or D, Michael Phelps?
It's Michael Phelps.
That is correct. That is correct.
28
Fun.
motherfuckers.
And Scott?
Hey, fun fact about that. He has, so the second person on the list, I think it was the first lady you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
has 18.
She has 18. He has more gold medals than she has total medals.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think he has like 36 medals total, and like 18 of them.
He has like 28 medals.
Does he? Either way, he has more gold medals than anybody's ever won medals itself. So that's some like Wayne Gretzky shit where you could take out all his goals and he still has more points than anybody.
Hey, Scott, you should take this opportunity to thank Dan.
Oh my God! Fuck off.
How many medals does Michael Phelps have?
28.
28. Yes. 28 medals. Point goes to Scott. Dan Gracey with the assist.
Can I get like half a point?
No, but you're gonna hate this question. All right, Dan Gracey. How many gold medals before this competition? How many gold medals does the United States have in Olympic history? A, 3,428. B, 2,627. C, 1,065. Or D, 5,443.
I just want to say this question is bullshit real quick.
It's a normal question.
It's
Normal question.
I don't know. I'm just gonna see. I don't even know.
1065.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Yeah, you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's impressive. Wow, you guys are like going end for end. You guys are both getting it right.
That Michael Phelps energy.
Yeah, real good. Scott, when was the last year of the Olympics in the United States? Was it A, 2002, B, 1996, C, 2014, or D, 2020?
I want to say 2002. Wait, hold on. I want to say 2002, and that was the Winter Olympics. But yeah, I'm going to go with that one.
Well, that's correct. Yeah, it was the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
Real good. Wow.
Wasn't Chicago like on the board, and was that 2020 that
Yeah.
they were on the?
It was
Okay,
for the
that's what I thought.
2028 games, and we
Oh,
didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
And I can tell you because it's not a question. It ended up going to LA, so LA got it, which
okay.
is fine because
Fuck out of there.
for those listening, do yourselves a favor and Google search what happens to the host cities after they host the Olympics. It leaves them in absolute bankrupt and shambles. Like it's really an interesting read. Just Google search it. Dan Gracey, where will the next Olympic Games be held? Is it A, Qatar, B, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, C, Milan, Italy, or D, Seoul, South Korea?
The next Olympics, as in like the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I have no idea. Italy.
Damn, man. Yeah, that is correct. Oh, it's gonna be in Milan, Italy. You guys got to get one wrong because otherwise the person who starts the game is going to win on a technicality. And well, Scott Berman, what event? This is the win it all. What event did Olympic medalist Christy Yamaguchi compete in? A, archery, B, track and field, C, gymnastics, or D, figure skating?
I think it's figure skating.
Nope.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Well, Scott Berman, you just won $1 million. No, you got it right. Yeah. Hell yeah. Scott Berman, you got it.
They had
right.
a whole movie about her.
They did, yeah. It's called The Cutting Edge. Will Ferrell was in it with John Heater from. Oh wait, no, that was a different movie.
No, that's Blaze of Glory. That's Blaze of Glory.
Scott Berman, congratulations, you win. Even though this is probably one of the best games because you guys didn't get a single one wrong. See, you should have elected to go first.
Nice.
So
high fives.
Congrats. So that was our first game back, and what a game it was. Fellas, we've reached that sad time of the show where we got to wrap it up. So Scott Berman, since you won the game, you get 30 seconds of uninterrupted fan time. Go ahead and address the Horniacs with what you want to say.
Okay, I want to make some comments about what you guys said last episode.
Oh boy, which one?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
there's a couple things you guys talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Bruzelis was projected to be the number one pick.
For those of you guys not listening, for those of you guys watching on YouTube, Scott just basically mansplained to his dog that he needs to be quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Bruzelis was before anything happened, like right out of high school, Bruzelis was expected to be the number one pick. He, I think he shot like 40%, like 43% from three. He went to the G League and shot 27%. So that's why he dropped. Is everybody thought he was going to be this amazing 3-point shooter, and he struggled last year. So we got a potential number one pick.
Okay.
At 11.
He got hurt. He got hurt too, didn't he?
I think a little bit, but the big thing was his shooting dropped so much. Yeah.
Okay.
Number
What's the
2.
other?
Dan said Bronny's ceiling is Derek White. Are you fucking kidding me? Derek White. Dude is on Team USA. Bronny James is ceiling. No, Bronny James is ceiling is Pargo, like Jamero Pargo, where he goes in, becomes a he becomes a journeyman NBA player that can come in and be a good player off the bench. That is his ceiling.
Yeah.
Pargo had a very long career. He learned how to shoot and became a solid player. But think about it. He played like 5 games in the summer league. Mm-hmm. He struggled for 3 or 4 of them against a bunch of players that will never sniff a team. They will play in Europe, in Asia, most likely, and he struggled against them. He is an undersized guard that can't shoot. He struggles to pass, and he's an okay defender. But the fact that he is 6'1" is going to destroy him for most of his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, if the Undisputed is listening, I know Skip Bayless just left, but hire your boy Scott, man.
Yeah.
Are you fucking...
Anything? Is there anything else you want to?
Yeah, there's more. I 100% agree with Dan that Embiid is overrated because the problem was Embiid centered his game too much about like James Harden did, where he worries too much about I need to flop to get to the line. He has such a body and a physique that he can dominate everybody down low because big centers aren't really a thing anymore, and he should be able. And he's one of the strongest, biggest centers in the league. He should be dominating everybody, but what he's doing is flopping and trying to get to the line and just draw fouls. Mm-hmm. And Giannis is doing the same shit, and it's pissing me off. But
yeah, Giannis has been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
The NBA or the Olympics has shown that isn't how you need to play. There's a reason why he got benched. It's because you can't play like that, and it ruins the game.
I would have liked to have seen him develop more of a Hakeem Olajuwon style play. I think he would have fit very well playing like a Hakeem Olajuwon style.
Yeah, he needs to figure out how to do a hook shot. What's wrong with him?
Yeah. Anything else you want to critique?
Yes. I have one big thing.
Okay.
This is only like 30 seconds.
How fucking dare both of you guys have a list of the top 5 rappers and not put fucking Kanye West on there? That man had dropped 6 fucking great albums. His first 6 albums are fucking masterpieces. How dare you both keep him off your top 5? Plus, you didn't even say Lil Wayne. For probably like 7 years, he was on everything. He was voted he was like voted a generational rapper. Like the most, for a decade, he was the guy. He changed the game. He was the one that made auto-tune kind of a thing. And then T-Pain came in and made it something else too. So T-Pain's up there. But you guys, come on. Kanye West is the one that pisses me off the most because, like, I understand that he's a piece of shit and he went crazy and made a lot of bad music.
Yeah,
but his first 6 albums are so fucking good.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll give you the Kanye. Kanye would, for me, would be a close number 6. Lil Wayne, I'd put him top 10. Lil Wayne was a master of his craft, but at the same time, I just think that Lil Wayne's like glory came all at once. Whereas like Tupac and Biggie, they're still big now. Like, you know what I mean? Not big as in they're still relevant, but like people now still know Biggie and Tupac. Like Nas was like a pioneer of the rap game. Drake has been dominating.
20-year-olds do not know who Tupac and Biggie are. I got into an argument at work because a guy said that 6ix9ine is better than Tupac.
Okay, we'll address that later. But I'm saying like, okay, the 80s, or I'm sorry, the 80s, the 90s, early 90s to probably when that guy was born, Tupac and Biggie reigned supreme. You know what I mean? And we're talking pioneers of the rap industry. Nas, pioneer of the rap industry. East, what is it? East Coast, East and West there. But number 5, Drake. Drake has as much.
Drake should not be in a top 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drake makes fucking Kiss FM. He makes fucking club and Kiss FM music. I don't respect him.
But at the same time,
he's such a piece of shit too.
Look, he's so fired up. Let him cook.
You take away everybody knows he's a fucking pedophile and tries to groom a bunch of people. That's a known fact. It's a known fact. But
wait, time out. I spaced for a hot second and all I heard was pedophile. What?
We're talking about Drake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, Dan knows. But he's such the fact that he's like a fair weather fan and just like he was going to like a bunch of sporting events and like supporting teams. Like he was a huge Kentucky fan when they had Anthony Davis and like Boogie Cousins, but now he doesn't care about Kentucky.
Well, you also got to think like a lot of that could also be contributed to is the team reaching out to him, and you know what I mean? Is he doing it just for publicity?
He's doing it for publicity, but plus he's such an egotistical asshole. Like, go look up videos of everywhere he goes, he has like security, and it's like 6 big black SUVs, and they go around places and just shut down streets so he can get in, and his like security will go and like yell at people for trying to drive on the street and not let Drake cut in. He's a piece of shit. Fuck Drake. I don't respect him. He makes shitty music.
Okay.
He makes shitty fucking music.
I'm okay. Let it be known, I'm not a Drake fan. Okay. I'm not. I'm just respecting the fact that since he came in the game, what is it, early 09 to 09, 08, he's never really dipped. Like he's, whether or not what we say about him, like he's accomplished a lot. He's sold records. He's had several #1 hits. He's won Grammys. You know what I mean? He's earned the likes to be a top 5 just because his style is something that we had not seen before. No one saw that.
His style is pop. He's rap.
It's pop. Yeah, rap pop. Yeah, exactly. But it's a pioneer of a genre. So I am not a Drake fan.
I don't know. I don't think,
but
pioneer is not the right term for that, because I guess you had rap and you've had pop before, and there's like you can just like there's multiple people I can name right now in the 80s that have done that.
Sure.
Plus, he didn't pioneer being a pedophile in Rap Game. That was Diddy.
I thought R. Kelly did that.
Son,
anyway,
damn, son.
This is the most risque episode ever. But then #1, nobody can argue that the
yes, I can. Yes, I fucking can.
No, that
I'm gonna okay. We're not gonna get into this, but Eminem made like 4 good albums. Most of the albums are not good. That Houdini song fucking sucks. I listened to it. Did not enjoy it. Do not want to listen to his album. He has not made a good album since Relapse.
Dude,
that is my take on him. That is the last good album that he has made, but I don't think I respect him as an rapper. Yeah. But I respect him. I respect him. I think he's a great rapper, but Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than him. I will stand on that.
Hands down.
I respect your guys' opinion. I will say that. Like I said, there's not very many rappers who can say they had a #1 album in 4 separate decades. Okay. There's not many rappers who can say they've won an Oscar. There's not many rappers who have ended rappers' career because they try to take a shot at him lyrically, and he comes back with just 2 sentences that now your career is in. I'm talking to you, Ja Rule. 2 sentences and your entire career is over. The beef with MGK isn't even a rapper anymore. He destroyed him so bad. He's now what, punk rock? I mean, several. I mean, I don't know how many. I think
he's country now.
Country, whatever he is, but I think he's had over 100 songs make it to number 1 on the Billboard list. Like,
you know what
just to
white
show you
rapper I
this.
like more than Eminem? Mac Miller.
Logic.
Logic, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the week
Logic's
that
mixed, isn't
the
he?
week that the Death of Slim Shady came on, every single song was back to back. The entire album was on the Billboard list consecutively. Like, it was literally just the entire album was on the number 1. And I'd feel like, me personally, you just don't see that. Like, every rapper out there will have 1 or 2 good songs that make it onto the chart, obviously, but never a whole album. I mean, and this guy's still doing it at 51. I mean, should he hang up the mic and recognize that it's over? No, he's still putting up numbers. That's just my opinion. That's why Marshall Bruce Marshall Bruce Mathers will forever be the greatest rapper who ever lived.
So, real quick, since you mentioned Grammys, I looked up how many Grammys Eminem has. He has 15. Kendrick has 17. Kanye and Jay-Z are tied for most with 24 Grammys.
Yeah,
I fucking told you guys. Kanye West is a top 5 rapper.
Kanye is. I'll give credit where credit's due. You are correct. I am mad at myself that I left Kanye off the list just because I was a huge Kanye fan all the way up to whatever album had
Life
Black
Apollo.
808 and Heartbreak.
No, that was a great album. 808 and Heartbreak was great.
808
Road was great.
That was the last true great Kanye album for me was my dark and beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Twisted
the one with
Fantasy,
all the lights on there.
Called. Yeah, with all the lights,
Yeah,
Monster. That album was just fucking straight fire from start to finish.
I'll be willing to move Nas aside and put Kanye in. Okay,
I would put Nas. You stay in there. Nas is a game changer. But either way, we're done.
I want you to remove Eminem.
No, he is number 1.
I want you to remove Drake because Drake has the same number of Grammys as Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Drake,
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the fans vote on this. Who's a better rapper, Drake or Kanye West? I think that's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay.
That was it. Those were my biggest complaints.
That was longer than 30 seconds.
Scott's
30 minutes.
I went on a rant.
Well, Dan, what do you got? Hopefully nothing that long. Giggity.
Yeah, I want to fucking say no.
Fucking Jamero Pargo.
Dude, that Jamero Pargo line killed me.
So
it's not true. It's true though, right?
It's
like
true,
that's a
Jamero
solid
Pargo
comparison.
No, Jamero Pargo can shoot.
But again, Bronny just needs to learn how to shoot. He's not. He did that in high school. He just needs to figure it out from longer.
I love that this episode was over half hour ago, and we're still going strong. Go ahead, Dan.
So yeah, with my 30 seconds, Scott. With my 30 seconds, I just want to say I'm sorry.
you
sorry for comparing. No, but no, honestly, like it was stupid of me. I shouldn't have compared Bronny to Derek White. To be fair, it was before he was on Team USA, and I'm not sure, even though I think it was after the playoffs. So I'm sorry, he's not Derek White. He'll never be Derek White. Like,
Scott's coming out here.
I'm not saying sorry to Scott for saying that. I'm saying sorry in general for saying that because it was dumb to say. I saw one game of Bronny and just based my entire opinion off that. So, and he played good defense. So I was like, hey, maybe. But yeah, and Kanye is a top 5 rapper of all time. He's a fucking clown and a half, but when he was good, he was good.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Scott.
So,
Scott's coming out
30
here
seconds.
with
There you go.
the abusive, strict dad taking off his belt and just beating all of his children.
I got scared.
How dare you leave Kanye off this? All right. Well, in lieu of recent rants, I'm just going to say thank you all for sticking with us this far into the show. If you want to hear more rants and raves from Scott, drop us a like, a follow, subscribe, and show him some love. Actually, in the Twitter board, go ahead and put your top 5 rappers of all time. We're interested to see who you guys think is the Mount Rushmore or the top 5 rappers of all time. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up and we'll bring you aboard. Keep sending us your Ask a Horniak questions. We love answering them. Shout out to the Bulls Pod who keep it rolling throughout the off season. And for fear of being yelled at further from Scott Berman, I'm just going to say to all the Bulls fans and Horniaks listening, we encourage you to see red and go Bulls. Good night, everyone. And Scott Berman, please don't hurt me.
To the court's beat, Sal, Scott, Dan on the podcast seat. Bulls breaking news, talking stats and views. Every player, every play, we never lose. Horns over hoops. We're the Bulls troop.